recording of Holidays LA, direct from Los Angeles. It's shortly before 12 noon, and you'll see behind me in the window, it is massive wind hitting Los Angeles today. But what's hitting Congress today is fake narratives. Hey, it's Monday. Let's crush the fake narratives. In this special recording of Holidays LA, I'll be going over a brief update about your second stimulus check for about 10 minutes. It's a lighthearted midday show every day here on LA at about 12 noon. This current update about your second stimulus package, and all the nuances from Congress. If I have some time, I'll touch on state stimulus checks as well. And then at the 10-minute mark, I'll turn into some holiday decor and how to keep it easy breezy, lighthearted, and very fun and fresh and cheap or free during the holiday season. I'm here, you're here, and where's that stimulus check? Thank you for joining me from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I see two people in the room from Wisconsin, so let's get ready to rock and rumble. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Also hit the alert in the front of this channel and also like this video. In this video, I'll be going over what happened minutes ago from Bernie Sanders. What Bernie Sanders is saying now, it's really great news because Bernie's giving us clarity about the stimulus check, his position on UIPUA. Remember all yesterday I said you wanted Bernie to add 3 things to Josh's bill, depending if it's 3 or 4, however you count them. Larry Kudlow, if he's counting, it's 12. You wanted him to add to Josh's standalone stimulus check bill, PUA, UI, eviction moratorium, and mortgage forbearance. Well, the great news is that Bernie spoke just minutes ago and explained where his position is. And this is incredible, great news. So let me go over the details, what's going on with the second stimulus check. If you're new to what's going on, let me recap. A congressional budget bill, a CR, continuing resolution, has to be done every 3 months. It's a bill to fund the federal government. It has nothing to do with you. It's a bill to fund the federal government. It's done every 3 months. Its current deadline is December 11th. Yeah, last Saturday. Well, my idea no less than 3 weeks ago was to put stimulus into the CR. We got that. That was hashtag CR for stimulus. We now have everyone putting stimulus in the CR. But what happened was they didn't put the right stimulus in it. So Bernie Sanders, Josh Hawley, which is with an H-A-W, not H-A-O-L-L-Y, stepped up and had the Christmas ornament balls to say, you know what? We're not sitting and rolling over unless it's a stimulus check or the highway. And today, Bernie Sanders explained more about his position because on Friday, Josh introduced a bill, a standalone stimulus check bill, $1,200 adults, $500 children. But we had confusion. Where is the PUA? Where's the UI? Where's the eviction moratorium? Where's the mortgage forbearance? And how about adult dependents? Are they included? Are they not included? Now we have the clarity. First, Bernie Sanders said that he will still block anything that comes to the Senate by Friday, unless there's a stimulus check in there. Let me make that clear again. He will block any funding bill, continuing resolution, that comes to the Senate unless there's a stimulus check in there. So he's not changing on it. He is staying on point about the stimulus check. Really good news. Next, he also tweeted basically words that were reassuring, but not as clear as I'd like them, that all adults would get a stimulus check, not just adults who file their own tax returns. All adults. So my viewers who are adults who are dependents, you would get a stimulus check if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. Also really great news, but I don't want you to roll over and say, okay, we're done. I still want you to stay on point by tagging the people with this video, tagging the people with the Mornings LA video, which is, you know, it's taped, so it looks nicer to tag them with than this video. And I'll be going over who to tag in a second. But then Bernie had more words to say, and these were really great news. So he said, you know what? You absolutely have to have UI and PUA in there. Thank goodness. So what did Bernie basically explain? What he explained is that he wants UI and PUA in there. His problem was no one was giving you a stimulus check. His issue was no one was giving you a stimulus check. Other people were doing things, and he now admits he likes those things, but it didn't include a stimulus check. So hence, he's trying to block everything unless there's a stimulus check. And he's making it very clear, the stimulus check goes first. Stimulus check is the most important thing. If you get the stimulus check done for him, then he'll start to hear about everything else. Everything else is then after that. So let me recap. He's basically saying, take care of the stimulus check. Make sure there's a stimulus check. Then I'll start to support what comes in after that. But there's a catch. It's not a catch against you. It's a catch against them. He apparently has now reached out to Chuck and Nancy, say, When did you suddenly slash everything so much and put it so discounted for purposes of the problem creators when these numbers need to be much higher? So he has apparently spoken to Chuck and Nancy today to urge the president to go higher on the remaining parts of the bill, not smaller. So what does that mean? I know it sounds a little confusing. What he's saying is basically problem creators are a problem. He said, yeah, you need to have PUA and UI, but what the world is all this other stuff in there? He says it's too small. What is all the problem creator stuff? It's too small. It needs to be bigger. And when did we suddenly just give away the kitchen sink and go really small and tiny? He doesn't like it. So he doesn't like and nor does agree to the problem creators because he thinks it's too small. He wants the problem creators bigger. Paul just added joy to the room. I love when someone joins. What I miss? What I miss? There were some flamingos that walked through the room. There was an opening show from the Harris dancers just came in the room. You missed the opening. Donnie and Marie just came in and did backup to me, so it's just missed everything. Oh my god! I just had to tune in earlier. Just missed all the opening number and the choreography. It was just wonderful. We've been practicing for weeks. But you know, what I miss. My other favorite thing is when people in the room are like, "Have you seen Josh? Have you seen Terry? Have you seen Jessica?" I'm like, "What is this? It's this eHarmony goes stimulus check." It's just everyone's just flirting away. It's okay. Just invite me to the wedding, folks. So what's important to understand is that Bernie Sanders is now doing basically two pushes. Actually, three pushes. First, he's making it clear to Mitch, you're never going to get anything approved in the Senate for continuing resolution unless there is a stimulus check going out in a bill. That's the first thing. So basically, everything comes after the stimulus check. Stimulus check goes out in a bill, approved, and then we'll take care of everything else after that. Next, what comes off after the stimulus check? What comes after the stimulus check for purposes of Bernie is this bigger stimulus in the CR. He's not happy with the problem creators, as I'm not happy with them. He's not happy with the amounts. He's not happy with the items. He's not happy that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer agreed to it. And so where he's at is just saying, "Hey, you gotta fix this," and so then when that's fixed, then the Senate will support this. Now, what's important to understand, and I want to make this clear because I don't always make these things clear, is that Nancy is in the House. The House will, whatever. The House can approve what Nancy wants. Okay, the House approves something horrible. Tuesday afternoon this week, the House approves something horrible. Oh my God, the horrible thing is approved. Who cares? It lands in the Senate. Then the coals are lit. and Nancy's bill is dragged over the coals of the Senate floor. And at that point, everyone's like, what is this junk that landed in the Senate from the House? We don't like this. We're not approving this. And so what's important to understand is you're going to see junk approved in the House. Don't worry about the junk approved in the House. What you need to focus on is what's going on in the Senate. I'm going to say this again. The most important thing for the stimulus check for purposes of the federal government, this stimulus check for this month, is what happens in the Senate. I don't care what these House members do. I really don't care because the Senate is the ingredient. The Senate is the ingredient because the Democrats are not supporting Nancy in the Senate. The independents are not supporting Nancy in the Senate. Or the problem creators, and one or more Republicans are not supporting the problem creators, and the President of the United States, who ultimately has to sign anything that comes from the Senate, may not approve it either. So the Senate is your key. We don't care what the House does. Now, I know that people will send me DMs. You were actually quite good today. I did not wake up with 500 DMs. Oh my God, the problem creator said this. It's like I said, don't do that. And you didn't do it because I don't really care what the problem creators do. I really don't care. And guess what? You could have probably predicted what the problem creators did today as well. What did they do? They held a press conference. That's the best thing they're at. They had that beautiful, nice, poster. Them and Nancy with the posters. Gotta love it. Always a poster. Poster with their logo, stood with the big backdrop of the Capitol Hill, problem creators, and said, "Hey, here's what we're doing. Get ready." Then made the appearances on TV and here and there, and just all looked so efficient. Okay, good. You're never gonna see light of day. Never gonna see light of day because that junk is gonna get torpedoed in the Senate. I haven't got to the Mitch. I mean, Mitch ain't gonna agree to any of that junk. So, what's important to understand is that you need stimulus. You need stimulus in your hands. You need stimulus right now, and that stimulus. Right now is a stimulus check. Nothing gets in your hands faster during the holidays than a stimulus check. Let me go over what I'm referring to. A stimulus check takes about 10 days after it becomes law to get into your bank account if you're set up for electronic receipts for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits. And what's important to understand is that there's no other instrument out there that gets you money faster than a stimulus check. And then you can open a dating site. I am not opening a dating website. I saw that comment. I was like, oh my goodness. So 10 days when it becomes law is when you can get the check. Now, you may have to add 1 or 2 days for routing times or bank processing times. But when we're talking about unemployment or UI or PUA or all those things don't can't get to you in 10 days. There's nothing I send you here right now that gets you faster in 10 days. Well, from Congress. The only thing faster in 10 days is this channel, is state stimulus checks, state rent stimulus, food stimulus, utility stimulus. That is 24 hours, or escalated benefits, or EIDL. Those things are faster. States can do things really fast. The federal government, the fastest they can do is a stimulus check 10 days. So people have always asked, I'm going to answer it again. You cannot get a stimulus check before December 25th. You cannot get a stimulus check before December 25th. We're too late. Today is what, the 14th? So unless they got it done tomorrow, which they're not, you can't get a stimulus check before. Happy birthday, Robert. Someone's birthday's in the room. So you would get a stimulus check before New Year's, but after Christmas. Now, someone just said you're going to get the stimulus check in January. Now, there's no reason why the stimulus check we're talking about now is my birthday's in December 20th. Happy early birthday, Linda. Happy birthday, Robert. Everyone else's happy birthday today. What's important to understand is that the stimulus check becomes law the day the president signs it. Well, guess when the deadline is? The new deadline is this coming Saturday, which is this Friday. The president signs it on Saturday. Well, that starts clicking the time for the 10 days for the stimulus check to go out. And so what's important to understand is that 10 days is before New Year's. 10 days is before New Year's. And with that, you're up to date so far as of 12 noon on your stimulus check. The deadline keeps on kicking down the road. Yeah, they could continue the deadline. I mean, yeah, there are other possibilities out there. They could continue the deadline. I don't see that happening. Bernie believes he's going to be able to block an extension of the deadline. And he has made very clear, and he made again today clear, again, he's blocking an extension of the deadline. So there's really just two things that can happen. Stimulus, if Bernie's path works, there's only two things that could happen. Stimulus check becomes law by the end of this Friday or Saturday. Or two, no stimulus check for you, no stimulus check for them, no employment check for them. And Bernie's comment today actually said that. He said they're not going home, they're not getting paid unless a stimulus check goes out. He literally just said that. Let me say it again. Bernie said that Congress is not going to go home and is not going to get paid unless a stimulus check goes out. I mean, this guy is wonderful. This guy is absolutely wonderful. No one has the Christmas balls ornaments to actually say these words. Everyone else is spineless. And it's just it's refreshing to have someone say this. And there you go. And we're also simulcast today in Instagram. I forgot to mention that at the top of the recording. So thank you for the people who are tuning into Instagram as well. And thank you for the 3 badges already on Instagram. Really exciting. So there we go. Before I turn to holiday decor, I want to talk about 2 things. One, if you are an individual who is suffering from stress, anxiety, depression, or anything because of the holidays, certainly reach out to a volunteer as well. The volunteers are here to help people who have stress. I've been helping people as well who have who have a lot of stress because of the situation of the pandemic. So you can also reach out to volunteers as well. Additionally, I'm thinking in the back of my head, and I haven't figured out how to do it yet, and that there is anyone who wants to volunteer for this as well. I think we sort of need a volunteer who can do triage. There are some people who are reaching out to volunteers who are really massive emergency cases. They are about to become homeless or they are homeless. So 2020 just said, I'm homeless. There are people who have massive emergency situations. There are people who are about to be homeless within 24, 48 hours. There are people who have no food literally this minute. And I'm wondering if we need like a volunteer who can triage and get them to the volunteers when it's absolutely an emergency circumstance where it's really something the next 24, 48 hours. I understand that some people have problems like their rent is past due and they're 10 days 20 days away. That of course a volunteer can get you today or tomorrow, but sometimes there's things that are so serious. So if anyone wants to triage or and we could figure out how to do this and figure out a way to make sure you get to a volunteer right away in case of emergency, send me a DM on Twitter at LALATE or on Instagram at LALATE underscore, and you can help triage to the volunteers for the emergency circumstances. We've had 2 or 3 emergency circumstances in the last few days. So there you go. Wow, 1,500 in the room? My goodness. All right, so let's turn to some holiday decor. What's important to understand is that when doing holiday decorations, color schemes are always a problem. And what I wanted to go over in this recording is when colors don't work and when colors do work. You all had really nice comments about the Christmas tree. I had some issues about the colorization because it was a little bit too consistent. I wanted to spice it up a little bit. So I want to show you how colors sometimes work and don't work when paired together, when there's too much of something. Here you have 2 ornaments. You have one that's silver and white with it's actually chrome, fake chrome with white sparkles. And then you have a matte gold. What's important to understand is that when you buy this ornament or you take it out of the box because you already had it, the ornament may look gold, certainly gold against my face or gold against a shirt, but when you put it next to this, it suddenly looks silver. And this is really not a gold ornament. It is a silver or matte white with a tinge of gold. And so what happens is that when you put this on the tree, you'd be like, wait a second, I got too much silver on this darn tree. And that's what happened to me a little bit. Silver and a version of silver with some tinges of gold. Let me show you an example of what happens. So here you go. This is distinctly gold. This is more matte, whitish, silverish gold. And so when you put this on green, look what happens. When you put this on green, it looks sort of white. It's whitish silver on green, where this on green looks gold. So what you need to understand is when you're doing ornaments, you have to understand that things on certain surfaces don't look the same way. Also, the pairing of colors are so important. So let me give you an example. I generally like to throw one major color in contrast, and that generally is red. So before when I had, let's do it again. When I had this, if you just do this, it's gonna be silver gold, silver gold, silver gold. It'll be like a Real Housewife. Real Housewives trees are always like silver and gold, silver and gold. Honey, look at my tree. It's just okay. It's way too much silver and gold. But then then you're like, okay, there's a lot of gold going on here, a lot of gold. So let's live video pause on Instagram. Okay, we're back. When you throw some red in there, sorry about the destroyed ornament. When you put some gold in there, then you suddenly see, wait a second, the red and the gold, look at the impact. So let's put it on the shirt. Let's put it on the shirt, the red and the gold. Now you see the impact of the green, and it's clearly a contrast. Contrasts are what work for ornaments. So you need to understand when you're doing ornaments, certain things need to really contrast. Otherwise, it's going to be too much. Not enough contrast, sort of in the same family, sort of in the same family. And then when you contrast them, you gotta be careful because the contrast may not be the contrast you want. Here, not may not be the contrast you want. This is sort of white and this is sort of red. So ultimately, that's how you keep it easy breezy. You make sure when you're putting up the holiday ornaments that you have around the house, what's important to understand that the ornaments have a contrast and also keep the color really in tune to where you want. If you're looking for the volunteers, you go to news.lalate.com/community. That's news.lalate.com/community. Almost every video, and this video, once it's taped, once it's archived in about 5 minutes after recording, will have a link to it as well. You can contact the volunteers. And with that, you see this. Keep it positive, keep it focused. Any questions before we call it an afternoon, before I see you this afternoon? My son's birthday is on the 30th, 31st. Well, happy birthday to him as well. Let It Snow in Pennsylvania. Jazzy playlist. Yeah, there was no jazz today. We need bacon as well. Put the gold and white together. Miss Ashley. Well, you can, if you missed the recording, you're just joining me right now, you can replay it. It'll be taped within a few minutes. Thank you for the people who joined. Happy birthday, everyone else that's joined the room. Hopefully we get this done. Absolutely. Have a great day. I appreciate it. Thank you for the nice comments. I missed earlier. What I miss? I just got here. What I miss? We talked about eHarmony almost the whole thing. I'm using strawberry jelly instead of butter. Oh my goodness. So the Nutcracker says hello. I say hello and see you in a little bit at 3:30 with the continuation with Afternoon's Check. Big updates followed by Purple. And then I'll see you back live again at about 4:15 Pacific, 7:15 Eastern Standard Time with Being a Mitch, which will be live. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay FLA for more.